Hey, what's up, guys? It's Hayden.
Hey, and I'm Emma. Welcome back to the channel. We are reviewing the second episode of The Mandalorian Season 2 for you today. Heads up, this is probably going to be our content for a little while with not much coming out at the moment. The Mandalorian's certainly going to take up the bulk of our channel for the next couple of weeks, I think. But you never know. Might have something else drop.
Yeah.
You never know. You'll have to subscribe to find out. But look, once again, we will probably keep it spoiler-free at the beginning. And obviously talk about spoilers at some point, but we will give you a heads up because it's unavoidable. We can't review these episodes without spoilers. And look, another fun episode.
Yes.
Now, people are calling it a filler episode again, but I think we need to realize that this is The Mandalorian and this is what it does. And I don't think we should be seeing them as filler episodes, going off the main storyline. We need to see them and treat them as episodes that gives us more world building and character development and relationship development.
Which I think this did, especially between Mando and the child. I think we had a lot of great relationship development between those two, which I don't think we've seen an episode that has pushed that relationship as much as this episode did. It
was great. We had a lot of beautiful moments between the child and Din Djarin and the Mandalorian, and I just love seeing their relationship develop more and more, and just and an episode that I think really featured the child a lot more too. I mean, we had a couple of episodes in the last season where it was. We did see him a lot more, and then other episodes, he's just sort of a side character that pops up just for some comic relief. But I think this episode he was featured a lot more, which we absolutely loved.
He was an absolute scallywag in this episode.
Oh, yes. Something else that was revealed to us was just how much of a little shit he can be. Yeah. What a little rat bag.
But we love him for it.
We love him. He's so adorable. He can get away with anything.
Yeah. Can't say no to him.
Without spoiling anything just yet, if you haven't seen the episode, an episode that kind of introduced some horror elements to it again. Yeah. And if you've seen the episode, you'll know what I mean when I say it had some throwbacks, whether intentional or not, some throwbacks to movies like Alien and Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets or Lord of the Rings. You'll know what I'm talking about. So that was really cool. I really enjoyed that. And we got introduced to a new character. A character that once again looked fantastic because of the practical effects that they have used. Another creature suit, which I love. We love it.
Yep.
We get so excited for it. It's why we love Star Wars, or The Mandalorian especially. Just some interesting things that happened.
I thought it was a fresh little flavour to The Mandalorian. I don't think we've been to this kind of place before in The Mandalorian. So it was a new kind of setting. We had some new creatures that appeared. As we said, it kind of developed the relationship between Mando and Baby Yoda a little bit more. But it also brought the New Republic back into the mix a little bit and kind of explored the relationship between them and Mando and also their place in the universe kind of post-Empire, which again, as we said, it's just kind of world building, just expanding on that world. And even these filler episodes, they do a good job of doing that.
Yeah. So we didn't have an issue with this episode. Maybe not as good as the first episode. It was good in other ways. I really enjoyed. There was a lot of suspense in this episode. A lot of nail-biting moments. A few stressful moments in this episode, which we really enjoyed.
Yeah, especially that big action sequence, that big action set piece.
Yes.
Not only brought in some horror elements, but definitely was very suspenseful, very tense.
Yeah. So I think we're going to have to jump in and talk about spoilers now because it's kind of hard not to. Yeah. So if you haven't seen the episode, go and watch it, then come back, let us know what you thought of it. For those who have seen the episode, stick around. We'll break it down and let you know what our thoughts were on particular moments.
So episode 2 pretty much follows on from episode 1. Mando is riding through the dunes of Tatooine, back to the spaceport, and we see these aliens, these people, these creatures setting up an ambush for him, almost like a tripwire. And so I think this just brings back the fact that Mando and the child are fugitives. There are people out there that are still trying to get their hands on the child, and I think we've almost forgot about that a little bit. I think this just brings that back into play a little bit, which I really liked.
Yes.
And so a bit of an action scene ensues. Mando obviously gets taken off the bike and he gets swarmed by this group of people. And he has to fight his way out of the situation. And we just get to see how resourceful Mando is. Even when he's outnumbered, he's still able to fight his way out of those situations. But the child is taken hostage.
Oh my goodness.
Held at knife point. Very, very tense moment. Very tense way to start
Very
the episode.
stressful.
Yep. But again, Mando, he's resourceful. He knows how to talk his way out of these situations. So he trades his backpack, his jetpack, for the child.
But he only just got that towards the end of the last season. We're like, no, you really just got it.
And so the child's released. He comes running over to Mando, and Mando scoops him up. And there's a really, really cute moment there.
It was so beautiful.
Beautiful moment.
I actually cried.
Yep.
He was like, Daddy. Can't deal.
So he scoops him up, and then this other dude just goes running off with the jetpack, and Mando activates it. He goes shooting up into the air. So, it's Mando. He's going to get the best of the situation. We just, again, get to see how resourceful he is.
He's very skilled.
Very skilled. Very particular set of skills. Yes. So they make their way back to the spaceport. And again, they're trying to find another Mandalorian because obviously their lead on Tatooine kind of fell through. So they're still trying to find that Mandalorian. And they get a hint that there might be someone who can help them. Again, kind of point them in the right direction. But in return, that person wants safe passage to that planet with a jar of her eggs. It's the last of her kind. She needs to protect these eggs. And in doing so, they can't actually go light speed. They have to go sublight. So which Mando is very worried about. He understands how dangerous the universe can be and that there's these space pirates and all that. But he eventually agrees. He knows that it's his only chance of finding this other Mandalorian. So he agrees. And then that's when we're introduced to the Frog Lady, who I don't know how big she's going to be in this series. I have a feeling she might just be this plot device to get Mando from A to B. But we'll see. We'll see. So they're on this way to this planet, and they get pulled over by a couple of X-Wings. And we, again, bring the X-Wings into play, the New Republic. I always like to see that. It's good that they don't focus on that, like they're trying to do something different, but it's always good when we get those relatable things, those recognizable elements from like the original trilogy and the sequel trilogy and all that. So that's always good. And we get to learn a little bit more about, the New Republic in this kind of post-Empire universe. And they're kind of like the police force, aren't they?
Yes.
They almost like, pull him over and they're like, hey, have you got this? Have you got that? And then it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know if I do. Yeah, I must have, I think it's broken. So he's trying, again, just talk his way out of it. But I think they're just about to stop him, and you can actually see like the wings start to unfold, and you're like, oh shit, something's about to go down.
Like, pull out!
Yeah. So we get this really cool chase sequence between the X-Wings and the Razor Crest, and the Razor Crest holding its own.
Yeah.
For a big clunky ship. Mando knows how to pilot that. And again, it's just, developing his skills, showing us his skill set. And we can kind of see just how skilled of a pilot he really is, being able to outrun two X-Wings.
Yes.
But in doing so, he does crash land on this ice planet. And I do like the new scenery. I don't think we've seen an ice planet in The Mandalorian before. But they crash land. They've got to try and fix this ship. It's pretty banged up at this point. The hull's breached and they're almost like freezing to death as well. It's quite cold. They're almost freezing to death. They've got these eggs that they've got to keep warm as well.
Oh my gosh, the child shaking and
shivering. And that's really cool effects as well. How they're able to make the child actually shiver. You can actually physically see him shiver. Just a really nice little touch effects-wise.
Just wanted to wrap him up like a little burrito.
But speaking of the child, my God, is he a little shit in this episode.
Such a little shit.
Because
rat bag.
At a number of times throughout this episode, he decides that he has a liking for frog eggs.
He's like...
And he starts eating them. And Mando's just having to be like, no. No. No eggs for you.
But even he can't get too angry. He's like, don't do that. Like,
you can't be mad. You can't stay mad.
Doesn't even try to backhand him or anything.
No. Jesus. What kind of parent do you think Mando is?
I'm explaining that he's not like that, which is great. But
wow.
Some parents would do that.
Yeah, you didn't even go to like, a light spanking, just straight to like backhanding the child. Wow.
He's eating another woman's babies. I mean, if there's any time to spank your child, that would be it. But
I guess.
But he's too cute,
He's too
so
cute.
he gets
He's too
away
cute.
with it.
He gets away with it, but yeah, my God, is he a little shit. And it just creates like those really humorous, wholesome moments. They probably shouldn't be so wholesome, but they are. And we can't stay mad at him. You know, he's eating these eggs. So it's like, oh, look at him.
Look at you murdering those children.
But yeah, so they're trying to fix the ship. You know, Yoda's, baby Yoda, the child, he's starting to eat all these eggs. And they find this underground cabin. This like hot spring, and the frog lady, she jumps in there with, the rest of her eggs, just to kind of keep warm and heat them up. And, the child gets told off again, and so he's like, all right, well, what else is there to eat? And he finds these other eggs that are in this cabin. There's like a, massive kind of sea of eggs.
Right here, we have a very alien moment.
Yeah.
As soon as we saw those
little pods
lined up around
eggs.
the place, I was like, wow, alien much?
Yeah, a bit of an alien reference here, which is good.
And then the things that come out of them, I was like,
yeah,
face huggers.
Almost look like face huggers.
They
Yeah, like
almost look
little
like
spider-looking things.
Yeah.
And Baby Yoda, the child, he eats one, and then you just hear this rumbling, right? And you start to see all these eggs start to kind of squirm and start to hatch open. And next minute, they're just like infested with a big swarm of these spider creatures. And then like, oh shit, we better get out of here. And then next minute, you just hear this rumbling, and then this big one just kind of comes crashing in. And we get this really intense, suspenseful action sequence. It's kind of this chase sequence, you know? This big spider and all the little babies are just kind of chasing Mando and the frog lady and the child through these ice cabins.
It went from like Alien to Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets like that.
So, Mando's like shooting him down and all that, and they're just getting closer and closer, and they're starting to swarm around them. They finally get to the ship, and they're starting to swarm inside the ship. Mando has to get like the flamethrower out. They're almost about to crack their way in there. Baby Yoda's got a couple. It's really tense. Yes. I really love this action sequence.
Close calls there.
Yeah. I really love that action sequence. I thought that was just really well done. Even though, they're starting to bring a little bit more CGI in at this point, I think it's all really well done. The creatures, those spider creatures are really cool. They look really cool. And I didn't actually know this, but they're actually from some extended universe stuff as well.
Right.
So I think Clone Wars and also some old artwork that kind of was on the chopping room floor.
Right.
I think they brought some of that back. And again, I just love that. I love those little Easter eggs that you can just pick up on. And again, it's just like expanding that universe. Which again is like the big thing with the Mandalorian. It's the thing we love, just bringing in all these elements from the extended universe, from books, animated shows, old artwork, and just bringing it in, expanding on the universe, and give us all these little fan service moments, these little Easter eggs. It's great at doing that, and this is no exception.
And it was good to see a bit of a horror element come back to the show, because I think
we had like one kind of horror-ish episode in season 1.
Yes, was it about the third or fourth one where they were
It was on like the spaceship where they're breaking that guy free of jail.
Oh no, I'm thinking of another
You're thinking of another one.
I'm thinking of the one where they went to that little town and they had to protect their little town, and they had the like Jurassic Park like moment.
Oh yeah, the ATSD.
That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, so there's been a couple of times they brought in some horror elements. I think this one probably more so.
Yes.
As you said, felt very kind of alien and had that kind of vibe to it. So yeah, that whole sequence was just really, really cool, really well done. And so they kind of locked themselves in the cockpit. And we don't know how they're going to get out of this. We don't know how they're going to get out of it. They're about to take off, and then the big spider just kind of drops on their heads. And we're like, shit, what's going to happen? And then we hear this blast of fire, and it's the New Republic. So the 2 X-Wings, they've come back. They're starting to shoot down this spider.
Come to save the day.
And afterwards, they kind of have a bit of a chat, and we get, again, a little bit more of this storyline between Mando and the New Republic, and kind of what his standing is with the New Republic. So it's just expanding that a little bit, which I think is always good as well. That's what we were saying before. I mean, even though this is, maybe a little bit of a filler episode, we're still getting this great character development. We're still getting this world building, And I think this episode did a good job of that.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the episode. They take off, their hull is breached, so they had to pretty much lock themselves in the cockpit. And you can see the ship flying off at the end of the episode. It's all pretty banged up. So I don't know how far they're going to get in the ship, which will be really interesting to see. Will they need to stop for repairs? Will they need to find another way to get around? I don't know where it's going to go next episode. I imagine they're going to get to this planet. They're going to reunite the frog lady with her husband and deliver the eggs, as long as the child doesn't eat any more of them.
That's like deliver what's left of them anyway.
Deliver what's left. Yeah. The child has just single-handedly just wiped half the population. So I think we'll probably get that. And there was a scene from the trailer that shows them kind of at this dock. And you can kind of see the frog lady and I think maybe her husband kind of leading Mando and the child kind of through this dock. And that's when we get introduced to this other kind of character, this hooded lady that's kind of watching them. So I think that may be our next episode. And that's might start to push that main story forward a little bit more and introduce us into some more of these characters.
Because, I mean, obviously, if you saw the first episode, it left on quite a cliffhanger with revealing what has to be Boba Fett.
Yeah. So when's he going to get back?
When's he making an appearance again? Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. It could go another sort of side quest episode, the next one, or it could jump back on the main storyline. We don't know. But look, we are still loving it. We're still very invested. And this was another great episode. Again, maybe in some ways weaker, but in other ways it was great. Like I really loved the thrill of those sort of horror elements to this episode and that suspenseful all the suspenseful moments that were happening through it.
It was
that.
different.
It was different.
I like that. No two episodes are really the same. And I like that we went to like this new ice planet and introduced us to these new creatures. It developed the relationship between the child and Mando more.
Yep.
It developed the relationship between Mando and the New Republic more.
Yep. And
just the New Republic in general and kind of what their standing is in this new post-Empire world. And as I said, they kind of feel like the police force now. So what part are they going to play? Are they going to be back? Are they going to help Mando or are they going to be almost like an adversary to Mando? Please let us know what you think in the comments below. Where do you think this story is going? Where do you think it's headed? Kind of leave your assumptions and your guesses, and let's have a bit of a conversation in the comments below. Slam that like button if you like what we do. Hit the bell for the notifications to see what we got coming up next, because as we said, we are reviewing each episode of The Mandalorian one by one. So make sure you hit the bell for that. Subscribe to our channel to become part of the Headspace Films community. And then check out all of our other videos that we've done, including Season 1 review. But most importantly of all, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.
See ya.